As countries in the East African community open their airspace to international flights this weekend, the chair of the regional bloc is urging further unity in dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic. Rwanda's President Paul Kagame has pointed out that there have been different ways of approaching the common enemy, and that could work against each individual country and endanger the lives of their citizens. Mark Masai spoke to President Kagame earlier this week.
Do you worry in any way that there will be different approaches in tackling this pandemic, especially now, this weekend? On Saturday, the sky is open in Rwanda, even here in Nairobi, for international flights. Do you worry that this would expose the region?
I think so. I think it comes with certain benefits, but it also comes with those problems. It seems we are not going to have a perfect situation where we get the best of everything, all of us together.
Mr. President, you've mentioned the different perspectives on the pandemic within the East African community, and you mentioned the May summit that you had. And at that time, it did come off that you weren't getting as much cooperation within the community in getting a common approach in facing this unseen enemy. Has that situation improved?
Yes, there were many things we had to work on. I mean, there are many reasons why the communication wasn't as fast or as easy as it should have been. But there has been improvement. The pandemic has exposed a lot of things in terms of weaknesses, whether it's East African community as a region or the continent as a whole. You know, in actual fact, the whole world has been found wanting in many ways. So the most important thing for us as East Africans, we need to not waste the opportunity of learning lessons. Well, as I said, to an extent, people may see the problem differently, given whichever part of our region. But at the same time, this also involves the normal way of handling things. Some people are going to be more efficient than others in handling things, just as a way of process. I mean, you know very well, even before, say, the pandemic, we have been grappling with trying to make sure that there is free flow of traffic and goods and people and so on. At the same time, you would find more roadblocks in one country than in another. And the way of handling things so that they move faster, you know, you find in some places it is faster than in other places. And so this had nothing to do with the pandemic. So there are the usual things of efficiency or lack of it and so on. I'm afraid this sometimes even trickles into other aspects of life.
Yes.
And when the pandemic comes, it just exacerbates the problem. And then, as you know, of course, with the politics, people will have different views. It's normal. And politics seems to be behind everything as we know it. They analyze the pandemic politically when it's maybe more scientific or needs more public health data that you have to rely on than just politics.
If I may just ask there, in terms of now the EAC states, and there are a couple who are getting into or looking forward to elections, as the chairman of the EAC, would you advise that things continue as normal, or would you advise that we hold on campaigns and such?
Countries have to decide for themselves. If what they are going to do in the campaigns and for the election processes fits in with the measures that they have taken or intended to take to deal with the pandemic. It's up to the countries to decide whether this really works well for them. I cannot give a prescription for anyone. Mm-hmm. Everything is out there for us. We know there's nothing, the whole region, each country, there is nothing we don't know or don't see. So people will have to make a decision.